Hello, people. Welcome back to the ladies' show. Let's roll the intro.
Know how I'm here, and it's you that I want to need. Feel your heartbeat. Feel somewhere you're looking now. Feel your heartbeat. Feel somewhere you're looking now.
Yes, people. Welcome back to the ladies' show. I'm joined by the lovely Beth, the lovely Joyce, and the lovely Stephanie. How are you all doing?
Amazing. How are you?
Yeah, I'm good. Joyce, how you doing?
Yeah, I'm all right. I can't complain. It's been a good week. It's been, good.
Good. What about you, Stephanie?
Yeah, I'm okay. Not bad. Had a decent week.
That's good to hear. Always good to hear that you've had a decent week. Yeah, guys. So we are going to get on to the little topic of just quick 5 minutes of the PSG Man City game. Just your thoughts, how you think it's going to end in the next leg. Beth, what about you?
Yeah, game of two halves, wasn't it? PSG kind of bottled it a little bit. Don't know how I feel about. I don't know which one I'd rather play, to be honest. I don't think I have too much of a care who I'd rather play in the final if we get past Real Madrid. So, yeah, it is what it is. I think City are probably going to go through now. They've got it in the bag. It's in their hands. And just see how it goes.
Yeah. What do you think the final score is going to be after the second leg?
3-1 to City. Wait, what was the score before?
2-1. 2-1 at the minute.
Yeah, 3-1 to City.
Okay. Joyce, what about you?
Like Beth said, it was definitely a game of two halves. I really like the first 30 minutes. City were getting popped everywhere. It was electric, and I really thought, okay, do you know what? PSG are going to the finals, going to be light work. Don't know what was said to City at half time, but they were a completely different team. They were much better. I think the goals were really unfortunate. I think they were a bit shitty. Like, if you can leave a gap in your wall like that, I'm sorry. Like, in the Champions League semi-final, that's absolutely disgraceful. So PSG will feel quite unlucky. I don't think the tie's dead. I still think PSG can go through. Whether I want them to go through, I don't know. I feel like an all-English final, just, I don't know, not really a fan of them. But, yeah, still all to play for, really.
Yeah. Stephanie, what about you?
I think the result was not how I thought it was going to go from watching the first half. I fully thought PSG were going to run with that. Like, they were so high tempo. They looked amazing. Their front three as well was unbelievable. So the second half, it was such a good game to watch. I think the keeper's mistake played a big part in that, obviously. I know it's hard if you think the ball's coming at you a different way, but that goal, because De Bruyne wasn't even having much of a good game until the free kick, really. But yeah, I don't think it's over. I think PSG could definitely come back. Yeah, it's to play for in the next leg.
Yeah, no, I think it is all to play for. All PSG have to do is get another goal. Actually, 2 goals. My maths is a bit wrong there. 2 goals, and they're kind of uneven. It's not. I suppose it's whichever team stops whichever scoring, and who can actually get the goal. We'll see. I think it might be one of those Neymar carrying ones where Neymar has to carry the whole team. He's done it before. I'm sure he'll see do it again. But moving on to obviously a more interesting game where we obviously opened Real Madrid up like we were cutting a piece of cheesecake. It was that easy. It was really that easy. Obviously at the end of the game it was 1-1. Beth, thoughts?
Well, I think, before the game you would have taken 1-1, wouldn't you? But after actually seeing the game and seeing how we played, it's really disappointing that we didn't walk away with a win. I'm upset that Lamb's not here, so we can't all have that big Jorginho debate that we were having in the group chat on Tuesday. But I don't know. I think Tuchel got it right, really. We're not clinical enough. It's the same sort of story every other game. We just can't finish our chances. We make so many chances and we just can't finish in them. And it's sort of like when Werner plays, we make more chances, but then we don't score any of them. So it's a bit of like a hard situation, and we just need a striker. And Benzema there just shows you exactly what happens when you have a good striker, because he made a goal out of absolutely nothing. What they had, that goal was a shot, and they had another shot where he hit the post, didn't they? And that was all they had, the only sniff. So I don't know. I'm trying not to be too confident for the next game because you never know what will happen. But hopefully we got this, because that was a really good game to watch for us.
Yeah. What about you, Joyce?
Do you know what? Quite similar to Beth, I was really disappointed at the end of that game. I mean, like, you look at our first half especially. I guess both semi-finals were kind of a game of two halves, but like the first half especially, we were fantastic. We cut them open. Real Madrid were leaving so much space in behind for like Timo Werner to run into, for Pulisic to run into, for Matt. Like we were really good. Like the build-up was really good. Kante, I thought Kante was great. He was less good on the ball. So when it came to ball winning and kind of driving through the midfield, I thought he was great. When it came to like that kind of final pass, there were a couple times where he tried to pass to Werner and then he kind of overcooked it, and that wasn't great. But generally, that first half, I think we were fantastic, and I don't think anyone expected us to kind of play as well as we did, but also for Real Madrid to be as poor as they were. But ultimately, like, it's about the goals. We didn't score enough goals. We could have been 3-0 up in like 30 minutes, but the game ended 1-1, so that's really disappointing. I don't want to sit here and cuss Werner because I do it every day and it's getting tiring, but it's just, you need to, that's where having a top class, world class striker who will do their job, finish their dinner, make it count in game, because games like this can be really tight, and if you can't rely on your finisher to finish, that chance missed from like 3 yards out. Like I can't get it out of my head, because that's the tie, not dead and buried, because Real Madrid can come back and be Real Madrid, but you know, we could have made it way easier for ourselves. So that was just really disappointing. But I think the boys should be proud of like the performance they put out, like generally.
Yeah. What about you, Stephanie?
I think the girls said it all really. We should have won. And it's like disheartening coming out of it, because we definitely, like, they were there for the taking, like the first half especially. That's just frustrating because Kante is so good until he's going forward. And I know obviously that's not what his job is, but it's like he does the whole run, and then right when he gets to the bit where he needs to make the right pass, does the wrong option, and it's so frustrating to watch. Timo, I don't know. Like I've been backing him this whole time, and I just feel like I think he's our best option right now. Like, because Tammy, although you could say he would score that chance, Tammy can't do the other stuff that Werner is doing. You know, I feel like he offers more than Tammy and Drew, but like he's doing it all right, just can't finish. It's so frustrating, especially since we've all been saying, once he gets his goal, he'll get his confidence back. And then he scores against West Ham, misses another big chance in that game as well. Then misses another big chance. It's like, I don't know. I think Havertz needs to get more of a look in, to be honest. I can see him, like, he's better at finishing, definitely. For me, I think Rudiger should have been man of the match. He was amazing. Azpilicueta was, I don't know, I feel like that side of was getting done a lot. And Jorginho looked a bit tired. I feel like he should definitely be rested for the next game, but I don't think it's over. I think we could do it. It's just we should have done it in the first leg.
Yeah. No, I absolutely agree. I do want to mention the one thing that you all haven't mentioned is the Benzema goal. Now, the only reason that Benzema goal come in is because our defence absolutely went to shit. Like, it really did. Like, our defence just cracked and melted. Like, there was technically 3 headers if you count Benzema's header that he collected onto his chest. 3 that we missed. And Thiago Silva was genuinely stood at the goal going, as he just watched the ball in. It was like he was sitting there watching a movie. Like, hun, you're not watching a movie. Like, I need something. I mean, yeah, it was really poor. Like, we need to stay awake. Our defense needs to stay awake 24/7 in a match. We can't be like slipping in and out, especially in the next leg. That was for me one of the only issues I think I actually had, apart from Werner's miss. But I mean, I don't want to talk about Werner anymore. Like, as far as I'm concerned, until he decides to. Like, the problem is that I don't class him as a striker anymore.
He's not a striker. Whoever said he was a striker just lied.
Exactly. They've
Didn't
sold
even
us.
say that,
They sold us Harrods. They've sold us Harrods and have given us Primark. You wear it once or twice, and then it's got a hole in it, and you have to bin it. That's what happens at Primark. Primark is not long lasting. It's not sustainable. It's not sturdy material. Like, at least Harrods, you're getting a sturdy building that's going to do its job. But I think.
Do you remember Southampton, like the first game earlier in the season, when he like absolutely bossed it and scored like 2 goals, and everyone was like, "Oh my god, he's amazing!" And like, it's just gone like that. Like, he can, but he's not doing it, and it's just so frustrating. Like,
I mean, I think our defense needs to stay alert in the next leg. Personally, we can't be having slip ups like, and Benzema. The man actually is the 4th highest goal scorer in the Champions League with 71 goals. And we weren't marking him. Why was Mason Mount doing our defenders' jobs? Rudiger was man marking someone else, and he can't do 3 defenders. It's impossible for one person to do 3. Mason Mount was man marking Benzema, when actually Thiago Silva was stood by the goal man marking nobody. And Christensen was somewhere in there missing a header or 2. So I'm a bit concerned. We need to kind of work on that. Pulisic's goal was absolutely spectacular. He went right past that snake, Courtois' little snake. He was slithering on the ground like, and Pulisic just went right past him and into the goal. Like, see you later.
And you know what's annoying about that is that Benzema's goal was so good that everyone forgot about Pulisic's goal.
Yeah,
I know. It was such a good individual goal.
It really
the
was.
best bit was when Pulisic looked up, seen Werner, and was like, "Nope, do it myself."
I think.
Yeah.
And literally, but I do. We should have been 2-1. At the end of the game, I was not disappointed in our performance. More disappointed in the opportunities we had, and that none of them were taken. And we had opportunities, and it was so poor. You know, we needed to score. We needed that second goal. The problem is we have to come back to Chelsea, to Stamford Bridge, and we have to stop them scoring. Now, our defence can't be making mistakes like they made in the first leg, and I hope they learn from that. I'm sure they will. But you know, it's an interesting one. But
I don't think
you all think
were a problem, though.
No, I'm not. But I mean, like, our defense actually has to stay awake. Like, we can't even like drop out for like a second. Like, a second is just too much. We actually have to kind of keep it, especially when we've got corners and that. Because it really is important, to be honest. I think it'll probably be like a 1-0, and whoever gets that goal goes. I mean, I'm assuming it's going to be Chelsea. I think we're all in agreement, aren't we, that Chelsea are kind of going to get a win? Yes. I'm glad it's not.
I do think they're going to give it to us, though. They're going to be a completely different team to play in this leg.
But I
Especially if
think
Ramos is back.
Ramos is back, unfortunately.
But they're missing Carvajal, aren't they? And
Wasn't Rudiger injured as well?
Rudiger is injured for tomorrow, but I think they said that he might play still on Wednesday. So maybe it's just a precaution.
Yeah, I'm not going to lie, though. The actual excitement when Eden Hazard came on, I was like, this is going to be bad. And then the excitement that I didn't realise he was on until he had that opportunity at a goal. And that was the only time I realised he was on the pitch. And I was like, this is what my players need to be doing when they come to Stamford Bridge. I'm sorry, you just need to I keep calling it the Ivanovic. You just need to do an Ivanovic, like run a few bits, outpace Werner, pretend you've got an injury and just limp off. Like that's what needs to happen. But yeah, so you all think it's going to be, do you think it's just going to be one goal Chelsea get in the next leg, or what do you think the scores are going to be?
Let's be honest, we're not going to have a goal fest, are we? We can't score and we don't let teams score that often.
Unless, yeah, I mean, while you're at that, I'm going to ask you to answer another question as well. Who do you think our front three should be, and should Werner be starting? So, score predictions in front three.
I think Werner should start. Okay, it's either Werner or Havertz.
I nearly choked on my drink. Like,
I don't want Tammy or Giroud.
I think it's just too much pressure for him to start in this game because it's the semi-final and we do need to win it. Like technically we can get through with the 0-0 draw, but we do need to win it. And I just think that's going to be too much pressure for him, knowing how off form and like unconfident he is. I think it would be better to go with Kai Havertz, for example, because he's very calm and he doesn't let anything sort of phase him. You can always see him. He's always straight faced. Like remember he scored a hat-trick against Barnsley and was sulking on the bench afterwards, like he didn't give a shit. You need that sort of calmness in that sort of game, I think.
Yeah.
So I'd say him, Pulisic, as long as Pulisic's still fit, and Ziyech or Mount, yeah. Although Ziyech played really well when he came on, so if Pulisic isn't, then maybe Ziyech can play.
Okay. What about you, Joyce? Predictions and front three.
Okay, so in terms of prediction or like type, I can't speak English, guys. I'm so sorry. Let's reset. Right. So, in terms of like who I think the front three should be, I think it is quite difficult because, like Beth was saying, like Ziyech had a really good game against Man City, and then he came on and then he did quite well against midweek anyway against Real Madrid. But I don't know if he's going to start. Like maybe he'll have like, you know, people keep saying, oh yeah, this is the champ. He's going to run it back, Champions League performance all over again like he did for Ajax. I don't think he will. I think we should probably have a similar front three that we had today, that we had midweek. The only thing is I want Havertz to start, but he doesn't seem to be as effective when he doesn't have Hudson-Odoi. I feel like the games he's looked his best as a false nine is when he also has Hudson-Odoi to help him, like in terms of creation. So as much as I don't really want Werner to start, I really want Werner to start praying. That's what I want. But I think really what is going, I think he's the only striker that
And a hat-trick, no.
I feel like this is. As we're discussing Werner, obviously it's Werner hat-trick, and then it says Werner and hat-trick shouldn't be in the same sentence.
I just think that also called Werner's like the only. It's either he trusts him or he babies him too much. I'm not sure which one he kind of goes for, but I think that it's going to be the same front three that started midweek, and I think we'll win 1-0. Mount goal.
Yeah. What about you, Steph?
I think the same. I don't know, Tuchel seems to really like Werner, or maybe it's just that he doesn't have anyone else that he thinks can offer the same thing. So I think it's going to be the same front three, or Havertz will come in. But I suppose, depending on who's starting tomorrow, we'll know who's starting the Madrid game. I don't know. I can't see Madrid not scoring. I don't know. It's either going to go to extra time and be the deadest match ever and just be a 1-0. I don't know. I hope we can get a goal. I don't think Kovacic will be back, and that's the only annoying thing. It's going to be Jorginho Kante again. And going forward, it's not the best. Obviously, it's good if we're going to defend for the whole game, which I don't mind if we get through. But I don't know. I think it'll be the same front three.
Do you know what though? If it went to that extra time and penalties, God forbid, I hope Werner is nowhere near those first 5 penalties, because I would like probably lose my shit.
I don't think I could watch if it was penalties.
Werner doesn't deserve to take penalties, especially. You know, the last time we had a penalty shootout was against Spurs, right? Wasn't it? The Spurs in the Carabao Cup.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, he
Was
was.
Mhm.
Yeah, and I think the reason he didn't take penalties because he said he had a cramp or something, so he didn't want to take a penalty. So when it comes to if you can't be taking penalties, then I'm sorry, I don't want you anywhere near us now. But it's just, he just gives bottles.
Like Torres' treatment in 2012, he wasn't allowed to take one, was he? I wouldn't give one to Werner. I'd be losing my shit if they gave one to Werner.
Yeah, I mean, to be honest, again in the Real Madrid game, a lot of the mistakes were the fact that Pulisic and Mount were both looking at not passing to Werner, and that's a problem when your players don't want to pass to Werner. That's a problem for me. Like you saw Pulisic at one attempt, and he was like, he just saw Werner. He was like, "Nah, I'm gonna take this on my own. I'm gonna take one for the team that aim." Like, you know, I don't think Werner should be starting. Let's be realistic. The first time we ever got over 2 goals was when Havertz, Mount, and Pulisic were playing. Try that. We have 5 substitutes. We can always switch it up. But I think we do need to. But they don't even know that.
No shades.
No, just no.
Gilmore can start in the Fulham game because Jorginho looked a bit laggy towards the end of the game. So I think he needs. I think he needs a.
It's a bit of a break.
Werner hat-trick of misses, says Jem. Absolutely. Apparently, Lewis is agreeing that Werner's hat-trick misses. Dead food. Gummy Bear Gem says hi, Gem.
Oh my god! Wait, go to that picture.
It's Jem's OnlyFans picture.
Yeah, it's Gem's OnlyFans.
Fair enough.
Which guys, while you're in here, please smash the like button, and if you're not subscribed to GNA, absolutely press the subscribe button. Just to let you know, this takes 5 seconds of your time. It's also free. We charge no money for this subscription, so yeah, please subscribe and like this video. Thank you very much. I think we need. I actually think we need Havertz to start. I think knowing that Havertz can actually get the ball in the back of the net kind of incents Pulisic and Mount because they know they have someone on either side that can actually get the ball in the back of the net. With Werner, it's literally like I don't know how to put. It's like putting a golf club without a human being. It doesn't work. It just lies on the floor and doesn't do its job. If you put Havertz in there, you have a golf club with a human being that actually does its job and can get the ball in the back of the net. I know that's sad to say, but unfortunately Werner hasn't done anything to reassure me. He gets these one-off goals and then there's no repercussions in the next game to show that his confidence has been upped. So I think we kind of need Havertz to start, to be honest. But yeah, I think it's going to finish, I would like to say 2-1 in the next game, which I think is going to be to Chelsea. But do just quickly want to draw, just quickly so we can, I'm only going to mention one of the Europa League games, obviously. We'll quickly mention Man U. They won 6-1. Great for them. Well done to them. But we will start on good evening. Obviously, Unai Emery giving Arteta a masterclass on what it's like to actually manage a team. And, you know, it should, for me, I don't know if you'll think this, but I don't know if you'll agree, but I think that it should be 2-0 at the end of the Villarreal game. I don't think the Arsenal's penalty was a penalty. It was way too soft. Just like, not the Cavani, was it the Cavani? The other penalty. There was 2 penalties in the Man U game. One of them was stupidly soft as well. But obviously, Saka was surrounded by a couple of Villarreal players. He left his leg out and continued to get a penalty. Obviously knew what he was doing and was desperate for Arsenal. But yeah, thoughts on the Arsenal game?
I only watched the first half, and that was
It was embarrassing.
and that was literally because I don't know. Like, I just assumed that they were going to win only because, like, why wouldn't they? Kind of thing. Like, I feel like with Arsenal, like they do this thing where they pretend that they're a bad team, but then simultaneously hype up all their players to be better than everyone else ever, which makes no sense whatsoever. I don't. How can you have like 5 players who are the best in the whole of the Premier League, but your team is shit? Anyway, but like.
It's the referees, Joyce. It's the referees.
It's just the referees that everyone's got an agenda against them, whatever. But like, it was just really embarrassing. Like, Saka looked absolutely burnt out, and that's probably because he'd been played to death by Arteta. Like, he decides, like, I don't know who decides the day of a semi-final, like a really important semi-final to you because they've not won the Europa League before. You decide to switch up your formation. You decide to switch up your entire game. I think Arteta is a very arrogant man for someone who's just started. Like, it was bad, and it was bad because Arsenal were bad, not even because Villarreal were necessarily good. Like, Dani Ceballos was actually trying to lose that game for them. It was look, long may it continue, man. I just want Arsenal to continue to be bad, and they could lose the second leg as well very easily. And
Yeah, I've cancelled my Spotify subscription. I've genuinely cancelled my Spotify subscription. I don't want to be giving any of my coins to Arsenal. I have cancelled my subscription. I have cancelled it, terminated it, deleted the app. I'm like, no, thank you. I do not want any part in this. I'm gonna stick with my Apple Music from now on. Don't like Apple. I prefer Spotify, but I'm not cooperating to Arsenal. Absolutely not. Although I did get to a point where Ceballos getting sent off with a red card was probably the best thing that could have happened, because it was getting embarrassing to watch. Like, I literally was I swear, let me tell you now, like, I swear some of these people, like, they literally just grab them from the streets. Like, they're like, you can be a football player, sell them for loads of money. And Arsenal just got mugged off because they didn't actually get a professional football player. They got Ceballos, who showed his worth. But yeah, I mean, Ceballos was awful. Jem says Man United winning the Europa League. Well, if they don't, it's going to be embarrassing, to be honest. If they lose to Villarreal, I am never going to let them forget that one. You'll remember that.
Yeah, it's really theirs to win now, isn't it? So
yeah. But Steph, what are your thoughts on the Arsenal game?
I don't watch the Europa League games.
Okay, just put it that way. Arsenal lost.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not surprised. Like,
there's the reaction from every fan around the world.
It's not even. You can't just blame the manager at this stage. The players too. Just, I don't know what they're doing. I agree with Jem though. I think Man United are winning the Europa League anyways. Regardless, I never thought Arsenal were going to win it.
Yeah. No. Lewis says, let Arsenal win the UEL so Champions League money keeps Kroenke in the club. Yeah. Oh.
I don't want Arsenal in the Champions League though.
Yeah, but then Kroenke stays in. Then Kroenke stays in, and then we don't have, like, they're not even going to make it past the group stages. Let's be realistic. They're not going to make it past the group stages.
Yes, but so Arsenal fans will be happy. I don't like that.
Yeah.
I don't like people winning.
So for Jess, if you're watching this.
Yeah, we're sorry. Beth, what are your thoughts?
Oh, Arsenal. I didn't watch the Arsenal game. I watched the Man United game. I did watch a little bit of the Arsenal game after they were 1-0 down. But then when Roma had equalised, was it? I was watching that game instead. So I saw the penalty, though, that was given to Arsenal. And that was an absolute joke, wasn't it? Saka just kicked their defender and got a penalty for it. I have no idea how that happened. But yeah, you can always rely on Arsenal to give you a nice laugh at the end of the day. Like, it's actually brilliant. So it is what it is. Man United have got this wrapped up. Theirs to lose, but they're not going to go on about it, really, I don't think, which is nice to hear, because if Arsenal win it, you'll never hear the end of it. So but they won't.
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, I'd just be quite happy with Villarreal winning it, to be honest. Saves
Well,
me a lot of absolutely no English teams bragging. Both Emery and Farteta are fraudulent scam artists.
Europa League specialist. He's got
Yeah, literally, they got their credit. You're very right. Yeah. Now moving on to the Fulham game, which we have on Saturday. That's 5:30. Yeah, thoughts on the game? Who do you think's going to be in the lineup? Who do you think's not going to be in the lineup? Basically, tell me everything about this match. I want to know. I want to know your opinions on it.
I'm worried because we kind of always underperform against the worst teams, don't we? But
And Fulham are also fighting for survival at the minute.
they are,
Yeah.
and that's always a bit scary. 'Cause I think Tuchel's he's come from leagues where like the bottom teams just don't win, really, do they? I don't know. I don't watch those leagues. That's just how I guess what it's like because it's always the same teams winning, isn't it? So, I don't know. I think no, we should win. I mean, it's Fulham. They're not amazing. They play pretty well, but they can't score just like we can't score. But we just got a bit of quality there. Just a little bit on them. Who's going to start? I think we'll see Zuma back tomorrow because Rudiger's not going to play. I think he'll probably rest Thiago Silva, possibly. I don't think Azpilicueta is ever going to get a rest because he absolutely loves that guy. I know you guys saying Jorginho looked a bit leggy at the end of the last game, but I would probably still play him and rest Kante because Kante is just that little bit more injury prone than Jorginho is. And have Gilmore. Like Cho maybe in the wing backs, get Cho back in the squad. That would be nice. I miss a bit of Cho. I don't know who. I don't know who will go up front, to be honest with you. But we should win it. I think it'll be like a 2-0 win. It should be fine. There shouldn't be any dramas. It won't be like West Brom.
Oh, Charlotte's.
Yeah, I know. I'm muted. I know. I realize this now. It's been a long day. Okay. So yeah. So would you put Gilmore in the Fulham starting lineup? Beth?
Gilmore, yeah. For tomorrow, yeah. I think
Yeah.
Fulham's a team you can play against.
I'm not underestimating Fulham. But I think Gilmore should have a place. It's a good time to because I mean Jorginho needs resting, Kante needs resting, so I think
but
something
Kovacic
needs.
is injured, isn't he? So one of them would play.
Yeah, I think one of them has to play and then maybe switch it up. So I'd make them play half a game each, if that makes sense, just so that they're both getting that rested game. But yeah, do you think Hudson-Odoi is going to get a place?
That's what I want to see. I think Hudson-Odoi will do good against Fulham. We don't need like that strong defensiveness of Reece James in that sort of game, and Hudson-Odoi will really drive us forward. And he's got a lot of rest recently, so he should be good.
Can you imagine Hudson-Odoi versus Loftus-Cheek? Oh, dude, I'm not even playing. But yeah,
playing at the moment. I feel like he's on the
Who?
bench a lot. Loftus-Cheek.
Oh, he hasn't even made their team yet. But I just think they're going to do something that silly to put him on a lineup for us.
He's not allowed.
Joyce.
Yeah,
That's true.
allowed.
But
Joyce, what are your thoughts on the game?
Yeah,
Let me know who you think's going to be in and out. What? Oh, sorry, Beth. What's your score prediction?
2-0, I think. Yeah, to Chelsea.
Joyce, let me know your thoughts on this. I'm ready for Joyce's thoughts.
you know what? It's interesting because like when you think about the last time we played Fulham, you think like we could have lost that game if someone hadn't gotten sent off. Like it was very disappointing. I think it's quite interesting to see because that was one of Lampard's like last games, wasn't it? It was, wasn't it? Am I bugging?
Yeah.
Anyway, yeah. And now we're playing them kind of like on the Tuchel, and it will just be interesting to see how the game differs. I think that I'm generally more worried about like smaller games than the big ones because I feel like we're really good at matching the level of our opponent. So if it's like when we play against the big teams, I feel like we really, really step up and we really put in a big game performance. But then the smaller teams, it's almost like we're a little bit diminished as well. And I really don't want us to do that. I don't want us to be conservative. I don't see why Hudson-Odoi shouldn't be starting this game because we don't need, like Beth said, we don't need that extra defensiveness. I think we need to take the game to them, and having essentially like 4 attacking players, because Hudson-Odoi, he'll kind of do some defending, but he'll be very attacking. Just to overload them, I think will be really good and really important. I feel like he's been frozen out a little bit recently. Like, I don't really understand sometimes why he doesn't get minutes. But this, I guess, it's like a manager thing. I don't really want to speculate, but I do think Hudson-Odoi should come in. I think Ziyech, if he's not going to start again on Wednesday, I think this will be a good game for him to kind of get his teeth into. Havertz will probably play, I'm guessing. Gilmore, it would be nice to see Gilmore play. I don't know if he'll start. Maybe he'll come on because he hasn't really been given the opportunity to play recently. And I think even though this is an easy game, it's also an important game because we need the 3 points for top 4 because all of the other games are much harder than this one. So I don't know how Tuchel's going to play it really. But yeah, we really need to win. And I really want us to like come into Wednesday confident because we've like absolutely obliterated Fulham. But yeah, also justice for Tammy, man.
Justice for
Oh,
usually.
okay, right. Moving on. Guys, in the comments, let us know your thoughts on the score prediction for the Fulham game. Yeah, it's going to be a tough one. Steph. Oh, what, Joyce? Have you said your score prediction?
Oh no, it isn't.
Sorry.
3-1.
3-1. Okay, I'm hoping it's to Chelsea.
Oh yes, yeah.
Beth, is yours to Chelsea as well? You said 2-0, but is it to Chelsea?
Yeah.
I'm glad about that. Steph, thoughts? Who would you like to see start? Who you wouldn't? Who you think should be rested? Score predictions? How you think the game's going to go? Tell me everything.
I think this is the perfect game to play Gilmore. I just don't know if Tuchel's going to do it because he hasn't given him the chance, but he really needs to because you can tell Jorginho. I know Kante's tired too, but like Jorginho hasn't had a rest in ages. He needs a rest. I think Callum Hudson-Odoi definitely should start. Maybe rest Mount and play Ziyech and Havertz. So because Callum Hudson-Odoi and Havertz work really well together. So I think maybe that front three. Yeah, Zuma's obviously going to come in. I just think it's going to be a really underwhelming game because when we rotate a lot, it's always a boring match, 0-1. It's going to be, I think, 1-0 Chelsea probably.
Yeah, no. I don't think it's going to be an easy game, to be honest. I think it's going to be one of the more difficult games that we've had because Fulham are obviously fighting for survival, and I think especially in our next kind of the last 4 games, like we actually can't lose a game. We can't lose a game because we've done this season. Other teams have dropped points, and we just haven't taken advantage of that. We haven't made any gains. We've dropped points as well. When Man City were dropping points, Man U were dropping points. When Liverpool were dropping points, when Leicester were dropping points, so were we. We didn't take advantage of that, and I think that's a little bit of an issue for me because if we hadn't dropped like at least two draws and a loss, we could have been, I think it's like 2 points from Man U. You know what I mean? Like, it's little things like that. And I think we can't actually lose a game because we will not make top 4 then. Because we have to play Man City. Doesn't really matter if Man City lose. You know that they're not really going to lose the Premier League. We have to beat Arsenal, and let me tell you, I want revenge on Arsenal.
Oh, don't
Arsenal done us dirty. Arsenal done us dirty. I need revenge. But I think we do have to. It's a complicated one. What are your girls' thoughts on the fact that like we have got to the point where we've dropped points that we can't lose? We haven't taken advantage of situations that we have to win every single game until the end of the Premier League.
I think we can.
Yeah, I feel like we're probably not going to beat Man City next week because we just like walked all over them in the FA Cup game. And if we happen to meet them in the Champions League final, I would much rather meet them after losing to them in the league. That sounds really stupid, doesn't it? But I feel like we won't get away with it the third time.
Yeah. No, I agree. But obviously we have dropped points and like it is a struggle. Joyce, your thoughts? We don't have the easiest run. We've got Fulham, we got Arsenal, Man City, and we've got Leicester and Villa. These aren't easy games. Bearing in mind we have to play Leicester in an FA Cup final. We've got to play our Real Madrid game next week as well. And if we make the Champions League, we've got to play that game as well. So it's
we've got a tough run.
Do you think that we can win every game? Like, do you think that?
See, I don't know. It's a really. I mean, this is where you want Chelsea to be. You want Chelsea to be like deep into the season and still have loads of things to play for. And I think that's where we're at right now, which is like exciting. But it also means that like every game is important. Obviously, like different levels of important, but every game is important right now because we kind of need to win every game. I think we can afford to drop points in the league maybe once because everyone else seems to have easier runs than we do. We can take points off of Leicester, to be fair. We're not really taking anything off Man City because even if we take points off them, they're not losing the league. It doesn't really matter in terms of top four. But like, I just feel like the only games really we can afford to drop points, maybe Villa, because maybe by that point it's the end of the season, so it won't matter anymore. But I just, every game is kind of a must-win game, and it's just mentality-wise, because I think this squad, apart from so Kante, Jorginho, Thiago Silva, Rudiger, kind of, they're the people with like experience. I think a lot of this squad is like quite young, and now we're kind of in the crunch time where everything really, really matters. It's just I want to like not just performance-wise, but like mentality-wise. It'll be interesting to see kind of how they are with all these things because we've got top four that we need. We've got FA Cup that we want to win, and then the Champions League. So I don't know. We can't really afford to, but if we lose to Man City, like in the league, I won't cry about it.
Yeah, I think we also need to take into consideration that West Ham are only 3 points behind us. That's it. Like 3 points behind us. Are we making top four? Steph, they're playing Burnley on Monday, so they got an easy game. Steph, are we making top four? And do we have to win all these games to make top four?
Yeah, I think we have definitely a hard run of fixtures, but if you look back to like March when we had Atletico, Man United, Liverpool, Everton, and everyone was saying, "Well, we're not going to win all those games," and we did. We got points that we needed, and I think Tuchel is more of a like big game manager. I think he does better against the bigger teams than he does against the lower teams. I mean, we have to beat Arsenal. It'll be so embarrassing if we don't beat Arsenal.
I can take a 5-2 against West Brom, but I can't lose against Arsenal again.
Yeah,
I know.
Not twice. Especially with how they're playing now, it's literally so embarrassing. We can't lose to Arsenal again.
It was the same again. It was the same in December. They were playing so badly, and we lost to them. I can't have a rewind. Exactly. I'll have PTSD. I'm gonna need to see a therapist if that happens. I tell you now. I ain't playing that one.
I agree with Beth though. I would rather lose or draw with Man City if we're facing them in a Champions League final lose to them in the league because they're going to want some revenge in the Champions League final, and I don't want that. Yeah, I definitely think we can get top 4.
No, yeah, I think the only game that we can drop points on is the Man City game. I genuinely believe that. Maybe not even that. I'll take a draw with the Man City because that's still a point. I personally believe that we can't be dropping any points. Because right now, if West Ham don't drop points and we do, we're not making top 4. So I know it's close. I know it's tight, and I said I wanted this, but I didn't want it for my team. I don't need this. No.
Yeah, we were supposed to collect some points and break away while everyone else stayed tight. But
Yeah, we didn't do that. Apparently my memo got lost in the post. Royal Mail done me dirty. They lost my message, basically saying win games. So that's what happened, guys. Just to let you know, my message did not get to them. So yeah. Do you think Fulham will score against us? I know you all have said kind of nil games, but do you think they're like? Because I think it's going to be close. I think it's going to be a 2-1. I genuinely do, because I think that when a club is in a fight for survival, they turn into a different type of team. Like they have nothing to lose because they have to take all these risks to get to where they want. So they have nothing to lose. So when you have a team that has nothing to lose, are they going to get goals against us? I mean, a goal probably. I wouldn't put. Would I like a clean sheet? Absolutely, but I don't know.
I just don't see it. In theory, we shouldn't be conceding against Fulham because they have a problem scoring goals as well. They're not like this big counter-attacking team. The way we play football, we keep the ball the whole time. Like we're really hard to break down. Not a lot of teams have scored against us. I don't really see it personally, not from Fulham, because they've just not got that goal scorer.
Yeah, no, I feel that. Joyce, do you agree with Beth or?
Yeah, no, I was just looking at the table just to see how far off Fulham were from kind of everyone else. They're 7 points off safety, and their run of games is a bit crap. Like they've got really tough run.
Yeah.
So I feel like they're kind of dead and buried. But I guess with like Beth said, like that's when people take, like that's what those are the people who we're gonna be like worried about. But they haven't, like Beth said, they haven't got a goal scorer. I think ultimately we will be too much for them, but I just think it's one of those games we shouldn't discount them, or we shouldn't discount the feeling of being relegation threatened and what that does for people and what that does for these teams. Because Scott Parker's he's a decent manager. I just think they got unlucky. When you have such a bad run of games early on in the season, it's really hard to turn around. I don't think they're a bad side. They can be a good side against someone else next match day. I'm all for it. I'll root for them, whatever. But I think that will be too much for them, and I don't want a complicated game. Just easy 3 points, clean sheet, and just get out.
Yeah. Lewis says 30 likes or Chelsea get knocked out by Real Madrid to a Thibaut Courtois winner. No, thank you, guys. Smash the like button. We don't need the snake Courtois. We don't need that snake coming in and like snaking us out. Like he's already done that once. Let's not do it again. Steph, like, do you think they're gonna get a goal? Do you think they're not? Like, they obviously have a hard run of games. So does that mean a game like this is just as they have to win this just as much as they have to win every game? Because 7 points means all they have to do is get 3 losses and they're done. You know what I mean?
I don't know, man. We're charity FC, so you never know. Honestly, you never know. But Zuma's starting as well, so
joy to the world.
Zuma's great. Stop playing. He's
Oh
like,
my god,
I don't know.
Zuma,
I just on the
Zuma's
ball
so
Zuma gives me
Zuma's
anxiety.
fine. There's nothing wrong with Zuma.
have you watched? Have you watched him play? Have you been watching the
Yeah.
same games I've been watching?
Yeah, the
And-
only shit game he had was West Brom, but everyone had a shit game against West Brom. Even Jorginho had a disaster class against West Brom.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not talking about West Brom. I'm just talking about every
He's
game he
really
was in.
fine.
I mean,
He's
yeah,
given his word for
especially
us
when
this
he's
season.
when he's giving the ball away, sloppy passing. He's passing to the other team because apparently he didn't need that. Beth, pour a drink from Real Madrid's lost UCL hopes next week.
Oh yeah, okay.
She has done that. Crofty's CFC says easy 6-0 win in Tammy yeah, no, absolutely not.
If Tammy started, I would actually be so happy.
You
but
all
I know it's not gonna
that he's
If that
not.
happens,
If Tammy started, it would make my weekend.
he
My
actually-
whole weekend would be
If
made.
Tammy started against Real Madrid.
Oh no, it's
Oh.
Fulham.
That's delusional.
Oh,
We can't be
Fulham.
having that. I'm done with it. No, we're not talking about Real Madrid. Like that's delusional. Let's. Jordan says Beth tried pouring with the lid on.
I'm not going to pour it all over my table without the lid on. That's a waste. That's not a lot. Can't waste it.
But I just Abraham can't start. We have to win these games. We don't need Bambi on ice doing what he's best at and then actually missing goals again. I need someone.
People have short-term memory loss when it comes to things like that.
The worst part is that we're sat here as Chelsea fans and we are discussing which striker we want to play because none of them are very good. That's a bit of a problem for me because we're literally discussing out of the worst who's better. We don't really have that much of a choice. Jem says Tammy in the bin, 40 million will do.
No one's going to pay that much for him. I'm not even going to.
Bambi.
No, see, this is the thing. People with Tammy, and this is why I always get really riled up when people talk about Tammy Abraham. No, you just use the same buzzword catchphrases. Oh, Bambi on ice. Oh, so aerial ability. Frankly, we went and we spent 47 million British pounds sterling. That's big piece on this guy, on Timo Werner. And you telling me you have energy for Tammy, who came out of the academy, scored 18 goals in his first season, and was our top scorer, even though he hadn't played in 45 games, or 45 minutes. He hasn't played in a very long time, and he still had absolutely practice. Put some respect on his name a little bit, please. He's gonna go at the end of the season. We can accept that. We can accept that we can get a decent fee for him. But come on, don't disrespect him.
It pains me. He's not underperformed to the level that others have underperformed, but people will over criticize him for it.
My problem is Tammy Abraham had an opportunity. Tuchel obviously hasn't picked him in the squad for a reason. I'm not being horrible now. I'm stating facts. Tuchel obviously hasn't played him because he's not good enough. If you look at the team that he has, Tammy doesn't make it right now. And Tammy had an opportunity. There is an open goal. There's an opportunity for Abraham to do what he does best and miss the goal. Yes, as per usual.
Open goals did Timo Werner.
Just to clarify, no. Just to clarify, I'm not dissing. I'm not saying Werner's Werner is better at making these passes, creativity, the lead up to the goal. That is what Werner is good at. I'm not taking that away. But as far as I'm concerned, I am kind of. Abraham had an opportunity and he didn't take it. And if you look, you're telling me that he has 12 goals this season, and do you know what? He's missed triple that. You're all coming at me. You're all coming at me he's done this and he's done that. But no, I see you, Joyce. I have this Tammy Abraham agenda. All love.
It's not me coming at you. I think it's just the.
No, I know it's all love.
Football in general. What always happens is that if someone comes in and you have spent money on them, you will invest time. You will have patience. You will babysit them, and you will allow them to grow into the thing because you've invested in them. Youth talents, unless they are world class from the jump, no one will invest time. No one will give them any patience whatsoever. And I just think that doesn't make sense to me. How can you It shouldn't matter how much you pay. You should give everyone an equal opportunity, because that's how youth players get fed up and they pick themselves up and go. That's why Sancho picked himself up and he fucked off to Dortmund, because he's like,
Yeah, but I want Abraham to go.
because
I want
Yes.
Abraham to go.
and that's fine. Like, we can let him go because this is not going to be the environment for him to succeed. I just think that in general, we never give chances to youth players, and not just Chelsea, but football in general. We don't give chances to youth players the same way that we give to people that we spent 40, 50, 60 million pounds on. And I
think my problem is that Abraham doesn't fit into our club right now. And I'm not
He
saying
didn't suit the system.
exactly. He could succeed. I've been saying he should go to Brighton. Brighton, I think he'll fit in just well and actually make that club actually quite well and fit and succeed. But if he stays here next season, he's going to be third striker. He's not going to get any games, no minutes, nothing to improve, and he's going to be benched the whole time. I'm saying he should go to get minutes. I'm not being a dick about it. I'm literally just saying if he wants minutes, he's going to have to leave the club. That's not me being horrible. Like, if we're looking to buy a striker, which we need one, so I think that's up on there, we're going to need it. Jem says, big up to all the ladies. Let's get to guys, smash the like button. If you look, Joyce has just sung it for you guys. What more can you want? Joyce has just sung it for you, and it's beautiful. So the fact that none of you just do it, smash it. But yeah, guys, we are going to wrap it up there. We are going to do where can we find people now? It's a lovely game. Beth, where can people find you?
You know where you can find me. I'm on Twitter at KingKaiFC, and I'm on Instagram at _BethDXC. I'll be on the Football Terrace with Charlotte right after this, and I'll be on Charlotte's channel tomorrow for the Wine and Football Show.
You, Joyce.
You can find me here on a Friday at 8 with these ladies. You can find me on First 11 on Thursdays at 10/10:30/ around about those times. Just be around, subscribe. And you can also find me on Gold Diggers midweek/weekend streams as well. So yeah. Oh, and Twitter and Instagram on this. Yes.
Yeah, Steph, where can people find you?
Well, you can find me on here on Friday nights or just on Twitter, and it's the same name that I have on here.
Perfect, guys. Make sure, you like all these, follow these people on Twitter, subscribe to whatever channels they do on, and make sure you like this video. Like Joyce has sung for you guys. Make sure you smash the like button. Smash the like button and subscribe to this lovely channel. This channel's got great content. Let's keep it going. And guys, Lambs will be back next week. We'll see you next week.
It's like it's free time when it's free time. In the dance, they have a